Alright, hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Casey, and today I'm doing kind of an interesting reading for you guys. Today what we're going to be looking at is who or what would be the ideal romantic partner for you. Now, I feel like when people seek out romantic partners, you're just looking for somebody who's like charismatic, somebody who's attractive, somebody you get along well with, but sometimes we forget like what would be a true complementary trait for me that I would want to seek out in a person. So for example, maybe you're a really spontaneous person and you want to find a spontaneous person as well. Or maybe you're a spontaneous person but you're looking for somebody who would be more grounding for you. This reading is hoping to find, what is it exactly, what would those complementary traits be to you so that you can better identify, when you're looking for a partner, like, oh, does this person have those traits, or are they just kind of like attractive and we're not going to be very complementary to each other in the long run? Some people, maybe you really need like a stable person who, when you come home at the end of the day, they're the person that has already got everything done for you, so you don't need to worry about it. They're a go-getter. Maybe that's something that you don't realize you need in a romantic partner. So hopefully we're going to try to figure that out today so that you have a better idea of what you want to look for in your romantic partners. But today I have 3 different piles for you. We have pile 1 with the confidence card, and this one also has the carnelian crystal. And then pile 2, we have the ideation card with the hematite crystal. And then finally pile 3 with the stop card and the dendritic agate crystal. So go ahead and pause, figure out which pile you feel most drawn to. I'll leave timestamps down in the description box below so you can quickly jump to whichever reading that you want to listen to. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, pile 1. If you chose the carnelian crystal, then this is going to be the reading for you. So going ahead and getting into it, these are the traits that I see would be in your ideal romantic partner. So starting off, we have comfort and the 9 of Cups reversed. And what this basically tells me is I think that your romantic partner is somebody who would need to stick with you through thick and thin, somebody who's going to be your rock. Even if you happen to be at rock bottom, they're going to sit right there with you. They're not going to run away from it. And if anything, they're going to hold on tighter to you because they know that the both of you are stronger together. When things are tough, when finances are tight, when there's a storm going on around you guys, you need this person who is willing to be right there with you, not because they, feel the need to, but because they want to be with you. They want to comfort you. They want to help you. And they know that whatever storm you guys happen to be in is temporary. It's not somebody who's going to run away at the first sign of danger. It's not somebody who's going to run away when things get awkward or a little tough or things get a little heated. They're always going to want to work through it. And it's somebody who can be your rock, somebody who's very stable, somebody who knows exactly how to comfort you, which there are lots of people that are great at comforting in the world, but it takes a level of closeness and desire to get to know someone well to learn how to comfort them. Because one person's comfort, might help them, but it might not help another person. And you're looking for the person that knows exactly what to say to you. Somebody who has all the right words or knows exactly what to do. Maybe your form of being comforted doesn't look like being hugged and being consoled. Maybe it looks like being given space. You need somebody who automatically knows that. Somebody who isn't dense, basically, who's emotionally mature and who can recognize oh, my partner is going through something right now. I already know what's best going to help them through this, and I'm going to do it because I want to do it, because they want to help you weather the storm. And with the comfort card, it gives me this energy of somebody who has a very close emotional tie to you, who just understands you very well emotionally, especially somebody that's not afraid of emotions. I think somebody that, obviously it sucks to be sad, it sucks to be upset, but your ideal romantic partner is somebody that understands that these states and these emotions are temporary, but it's all a part of allowing growth. It's all a part of emotional evolution and the changing of your relationship dynamic and stuff. And so even though it's uncomfortable, it's like they welcome it. They're not running away from it. They don't suppress their emotions. They don't bottle things up and put up boundaries. Something that just came to mind is maybe you're somebody who does that right now, or maybe you're somebody who used to do that in the past, and it's been very hard for you to overcome that and learn how to be more vulnerable and learn how to be more emotionally available and emotionally open. You need somebody that already understands all that and is able to like ease you into it. Not somebody that's going to force you to share your emotions, but somebody that knows, you know, I see what you're going through. I see like maybe you don't want to open up right now, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to sit right here, and when you're ready to open up, you can come to me. And it's like they're that rock in the hurricane that's not going to be moving. And once things have maybe calmed down a little bit, or you can come to them, they just allow space for things to be healed, for things to be comfortable. And that's what I think the ideal romantic partner is for you, because maybe you live a very tumultuous life, or maybe you're just a very emotional person. I mean, I'm a Cancer with a lot of Cancer placements, so I'm a very emotional person. I'm fortunate enough to have a partner who is very open and honest and willing to talk and communicate with me through things. Maybe that's what you need. I mean, a lot of the traits I'm seeing here have to relate to emotions. 2 out of the 3 here have to do with emotional depth and understanding. So that could be something that you don't realize is as important to you as you need it to be. Maybe you've kind of closed your mind off to, emotional intimacy, but the ideal romantic partner for you is somebody that can be deep with you, somebody that can hold you throughout it, who's not gonna, be like, okay, I'm just gonna turn away and let you heal on your own. It's somebody that's going to be right there with you, who's going to help you through it, not because they're forced to, but because they understand it and they want to help you, because they go through it themselves. And so the second trait, like I said, also has to do with emotions, but in a slightly different sense. So here you have the Sadness card, the Queen of Wands, and the Four of Swords. And what this leads me to believe is, I believe that you're showing up here as this Queen of Wands. This doesn't necessarily need to mean that you're a woman, it's just the energy that's coming through. It's somebody who, the Queen of Wands is very passionate. They exude power, they exude warmth, they exude a comfortable air of confidence. That's you. But it's also somebody who needs to take time to themselves to keep that going. Like, for example, she's holding this sunflower. The sunflower can't constantly be in bloom unless, even a sunflower needs shade now and again. And what it also needs is water. And what is water? It's emotions. In order to maintain this level of confidence and comfortability, you need time to retreat into yourself. You need time to feel your emotions, to have breakdowns. Those are all essential parts of being who you are. And you need somebody who, like I said, understands that, can help you through it, or at the very least understands, maybe you need some time alone. Like maybe you're somebody who periodically you just go hermit mode and you need to be alone, no contact. Somebody who understands that. Also somebody who feels their emotions as well. Somebody who is okay with crying. I mean, I'm coming from the point of view here that a majority of watchers of these videos are straight women, so usually the partner that you're wondering about is a man, and a lot of men have this idea like boys can't cry, boys can't show emotion. You need somebody that not only does show emotion, but isn't afraid to cry, who doesn't run away from their emotions, and who can be the strong rock for you there when you need to break down. Not somebody that's going to tell you to suppress it, or somebody that's going to tell you to hide it away, because it's all a part of maintaining this Queen of Wands energy that you have. She needs to be watered now and again. She needs to be able to break down so that she can be built back up. She needs to be able to have this Four of Swords, this rest moment where she retreats into herself and, reconfigures herself, because we can't just always be in the spotlight. We can't always be the tough one, the strong one. I feel like you are a very strong person, and maybe a lot of people look to you for help, or, you just seem like the confident one, so everybody goes to lean on you. But in order for you to be that kind of person, you need time to retreat in on yourself, to be emotional, to break down a little bit, to be a little girl or a little boy again. And this ideal romantic partner is somebody that recognizes that you need those moments, somebody that can be strong for you, and also somebody that does that themselves, somebody that understands that they need to break down every once in a while, somebody who mirrors you essentially, who understands the emotional processes that you go through because they go through them themselves. And that's why they're so able to help you, is because you two mirror each other. And finally, the final trait that we have here for your ideal romantic partner is the Flow card and the Seven of Swords. And basically what popped in my head when I got these cards is your partner in crime. I think, the Seven of Swords usually has to do with like trickery and stuff, but I'm almost imagining like two people running out of a store where they're like giggling because they just shoplifted. Not saying I condone shoplifting, but it's like it's your partner in crime, somebody who's gonna go with you anywhere, who's gonna want to go on adventures with you, who's gonna want to do what you do. So, somebody who like, maybe you get tired of where you're living and you're like, I want to get out of here. This person can be like, all right, I already packed the bags, and you two just run away together, without saying a word. Partner in crime. And with the Flow card, I feel like you can be a very spontaneous person. Not all the time, but like when you want to be, like suddenly, like I said, maybe you suddenly want to change out of nowhere. This is the person that's going to be like, I already packed the bags, get in the car. Like they're just going to want to go with you. They love adventure and excitement. They're your partner in crime. They want to be where you are. They support these decisions to like go run off and be spontaneous. Not somebody that is gonna hang back and be like, oh, I don't know if we should do it. I don't know. Maybe we should stay home. Oh, it's not safe to go there. No, you want somebody who's like 100% on board. Obviously not somebody that's going to be reckless, but somebody who's willing to be adventurous, somebody who's willing to be spontaneous. And like I said, I don't think that this is an all the time thing. I think, you still come back to your roots, you still go back to, life the way that you know it. I think you have your responsibilities you get back to, especially with this Queen of Wands energy. You're somebody that people look up to or can lean on. You're a positive force in your friend groups, your family, your communities. So I do see you going back to that, not constantly running away from things. But it's like when you get an idea in your mind, you're like, let's go drive across the state or wherever you live and go on this road trip adventure. They're like, okay, I'm so down. Like they're just always down. They want to be where you are. They want to do what you want to do. And they just flow. They just flow easily. It's not somebody who's obstructing you or getting in your path, or somebody that's like insecure and is like, no, don't do that. Don't go out there. I don't want you to go out there. No, they're the person that sees you're excited about something and wants to be excited about it too. So they want to do it with you. Like I said, partners in crime. You guys run away giggling together and it's like you against the world. That is the ideal romantic partner for you. So what we have here is like a nice blend of things. It's somebody who understands the deeper side of you, the more vulnerable side of you, who behind closed doors wants to be there for you, wants to help you weather the storm, wants to cry with you and hold you. Or, maybe you don't like being held. Maybe you need somebody that just understands, I need time alone, or understands, like, I need this, without you even needing to ask for it, without you needing to say it. They just understand you on an emotional kind of wavelength that nobody else really does. And also just somebody you can have fun with, your partner in crime, somebody who's willing to run away with you and do so laughing, somebody who wants to be spontaneous with you, wants to make memories, wants to be adventurous. You have this perfect blend of, what it comes down to is just somebody who knows you intimately and wants to be playful and knows you like no other person in the world. I think that is the ideal romantic partner for you. And I feel like with this reading, I'm trying to help you find things that you might not have known before. Obviously, you want someone attractive, you want somebody charismatic, maybe you even know that you want somebody kind of spontaneous. But it's like now you have these traits. If these are really resonating and you're like, yes, I absolutely do want all of these things. Hopefully this can help you better vet future partners, when you're dating or looking for a partner. It'll help you realize, like, is this person actually gonna be this kind of person? Or do they just seem like a good time, Because when you're looking for that life partner, I feel like these are the kinds of traits that person could have. So, pile one, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave it a like and feel free to subscribe because I do post about twice a week. So feel free to stick around if you wanna. But that's everything that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Alright, pile two. If you chose the hematite, then this is going to be the reading for you. And let's go ahead and get into it. So, obviously, we're looking at the traits of your ideal romantic partner. Hopefully something that you haven't thought of before, so it can bring it to your attention. Or if it's something that you've forgotten, maybe it'll just, bring it back to your attention. So that when you're trying to vet possible romantic partners, you're like, okay, do they actually have these traits? Or do they just look like a fun time? Is this somebody that I really want in my life long term? And the overall kind of thing that I see here is you need somebody that can balance you. I feel like you can tend to have a bit of, you're a bit of a worrywart. Maybe you have an overactive imagination. Maybe you have bad intrusive thoughts. But you need somebody, like with the Disruption card and the Nine of Wands, somebody who can get you out of that. Somebody logical, somebody that can bring you back down to earth. Maybe you're an overthinker. Maybe you have bad anxiety about certain things. Or maybe it's hard for you to see reality in certain situations. It could even be, on not a negative side. Maybe you're all about daydreaming and all these possibilities, and you need somebody who can bring you back down to earth and be like, okay, well, all that sounds good and fun, but here's the logical side of things, and maybe that can like dull your vibe a little bit, but you need that grounding energy. You need somebody to bring you back to reality who can make you see both sides of things. What I see is you're a very opposite energy from this person. I think people say opposites attract, and I think in your case that's very true. You're looking for somebody to balance you because maybe you've always been on a very, one end of the spectrum, and you need somebody else to be on the other end so that you two can come together and balance each other. And I specifically from their energy, I'm getting a much more like logical, grounding presence. So it could be like maybe an earth sign. I don't usually attribute signs to people in this video, but it could be, maybe you need an earth sign. I get a very fiery or like air type energy from you. So maybe you have very predominant air and fire in your chart. So it could be that you're looking for somebody more watery, more earthy. But like I said, with Disruption and the Nine of Wands, the Nine of Wands is all about worries, it's all about anxieties and fear. In Disruption, you need somebody who can cut in there and be like, dude, calm down. You don't need to be worrying about this. It's not that deep. Here, look at it from this point of view. Like somebody that can shift your perspective from things, especially when you're worrying, because I think that you have a tendency, like when you're alone, to kind of overthink to the point that things keep getting blown more and more out of proportion, and it gets so big that it's like you can't see clearly. You need somebody to just hold your hand, bring you back down to earth, and be like, hey, it's okay. And like they get it. They're not ever mad at you for these things. It's just somebody who gets it and who will gently be like, look at it from this point of view. And then you're like, I didn't look at it like that. Now that I'm looking at it like that, I do see, yeah, it's not that crazy. I don't need to be this worried. Somebody who can calm you down. Because I think that you can tend to have a lot of anxiety or overthinking tendencies, which, who among us, right? Everybody overthinks to some degree. You just need that person who can balance you out, who maybe they overthink in some areas that you underthink in, or maybe in the areas that you overthink, they can like I said, bring you down to earth, bring you back to a balanced plane. You two balance each other in that way. Maybe from like the logical point of view, they don't get super excited about other things, and you're the kind of person that amps them up about that. Like I said, balance. You even have the balance card here. With the other, the second trait here, you have the balance card and the Eight of Wands. I feel like you go through periods of like wanting to do all these things, you have all these things on your mind to maybe not wanting to do anything. And you need somebody that can balance that out and be like, okay, listen, we gotta slow down a bit, you wanna do all these things at once, let's focus on like maybe 3 of them, because you have these 8 wands, it's like they all wanna come forward at once. You need somebody that can balance it, who doesn't let you like run away. It's almost like somebody with a ton of energy, their legs are constantly moving, they kind of just like pick you up for a minute so that you're not running off super fast, if that makes sense. And they're not trying to slow you down because they want to hold you back. It's like they're just trying to help you achieve it the best way possible, and they see that like if you're trying to have 8 different wands at once, it might all fall apart. So they balance you out and they say, okay, let's cut it in half. Let's stick with 4 wands so you can actually focus on all these things. Maybe you're a creative person, or maybe you're an entrepreneur. You're always thinking of new ideas for certain things. But, when you have too many plates in the air, that's when things start to fall apart. They're that logical grounding presence that's like, okay, these are really great ideas. Pick 3 of them. Like, you're trying to do too much at once. They bring you back down to earth and allow you to be your most focused, best self, because maybe you tend to get out of focus here and there. And with the balance card, it's like they help you find the best way to achieve it by bringing you down to earth. And they might be the opposite way where they're, I'm not going to say that like they're not spontaneous or they're not like an achiever. They're not, what's the word I'm trying to come for? like, I'm not trying to say that they're not, like, passionate or they're not a go-getter, but maybe they're just much more reserved, and, like, you help them get out of that bubble. You see, like, oh, I see you're reserved, you're holding back from this thing, but here's this reason why you should do it, here's this reason, here's this opportunity, and it's like you help them get out of their bubble as well. So you guys balance each other in certain ways. You're trying to do so much, meet so many people, have all these opportunities. Maybe they, like, bring it down a little bit, help you find the best ones so you're not overextending yourself or missing good opportunities. And for them, maybe they're very reserved, maybe they're a little bit more shy or quiet, and you help them get out of that bubble, and you guys meet each other halfway. And because of that, I feel like your partnership would be so strong you can get anything done. You guys support each other and build each other up in ways that you need it, you know? In your case, I guess you'd be building them up and they'd be helping you hone in on, like, less, but less can be more. I hope you know what I'm trying to say. Somebody who is your opposite, somebody who challenges you, somebody who's different from you, somebody who makes you see life from a different perspective, because it's like you're always up here, they're always down here, but when you guys are in the middle, anything is possible. You know, you guys are a partnership. You're able to get each other through anything. It's not just about, like, romance and dates. You guys are in this together. You're in life together. You're supporting each other through all your endeavors. And you need that balanced energy. And so the final trait that we have here is fear and the Four of Wands. I feel like I said, maybe you're an overthinker, maybe you have a lot of anxieties. With fears, I think that you might have fears about the future. You might even have fears about commitment or being tied down. Maybe you have fears about being like your parents. Maybe you have fears about ending up, I don't know, alone or hated. I don't know. You know, overthinking kind of fears. You know what I'm saying? You need that person that's going to be right there with you to dispel those fears. Somebody, like I said, who'll make you see logic. When I look at this Four of Wands versus the fear card, it's like the fear is alone. It's darkness. It's black. There's no light. But in the Four of Wands, you see two people standing proudly next to each other. And because of that, everything is bright. Everything is clear. Everything is in the light. When you're alone, you're unbalanced. I'm not saying that you can't be a balanced person on your own. I think you absolutely can be. But sometimes it's like you lose sight of that balance. You lose sight of the ability to discern reality from your own fears. You need that person that can bring you back to reality. That person that can pull you out of those fears. The person who's going to stand by your side and help you through things. And I think vice versa. I think that it's not just, you know, some rock who's sitting there who's helping you through all your problems. I think that they're going to have problems of their own. But maybe you help them see them from a different perspective because you guys are so different. You know, you're different, but that doesn't mean you're not complementary. I think the person that you're looking for is going to be your opposite, and it's a good thing because they bring you back to the middle. They bring you back to neutral. And with the Four of Wands, you know, this could be somebody that you end up marrying. You know, the Four of Wands card is about marriage. If you look at the card up close, you literally see, like, it looks like a wedding. It looks like a celebration. So it's somebody who's willing to be your life partner, somebody who's going to stand right by your side, help you through everything, and you're going to help them just as much. And the biggest thing I see is you need somebody who balances you. So pile 2, sorry, I just had to confirm that you weren't pile 3. Pile 2, that is everything that I have for you. I hope this brought to mind, you know, some of those traits that your ideal romantic partner would have. You know, hopefully it makes it a little bit more clear, because I feel like sometimes we tend to overlook the traits that are good for us, and we just look for the things that are exciting. Maybe you've always thought, you know, this kind of person would be boring, but you don't realize, like, just how much it propels you forward in life. And I don't think that this person needs to be boring. I think, you know, when you do look for those people, when you're looking for the person that you're trying to live with for the rest of your life, you're looking for that romantic partner that you want to be in a partnership with. You know, maybe looking for these traits that balance you rather than, you know, just keep pushing you forward, pushing you over the edge, firing you up. You know, maybe balance is better. So, I don't know. Keep that in mind. Maybe you'll find somebody just like this and you'll be like, ah, that tarot reader lady online, she was right. This is the ideal romantic partner. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But pile 2, that is everything that I have. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, pile 3, last but certainly not least. Your reading is already pretty exciting. So I'm just gonna go ahead and preface this by saying that I might be talking about some slightly inappropriate topics. So if you're under 18, you might want to steer clear. Just putting that warning out there. I'm going to try to censor myself as much as possible, not because I'm like uncomfortable talking about it, but because I don't really know what's allowed on YouTube, so keep that in mind. But getting into it, the very first ideal trait that came up has to do with intimacy. It has to do, well, obviously you have the hunger card here, so it must be very important to you. I feel like maybe you're somebody who you would consider is insatiable, somebody who's always trying to explore new things when it comes to intimacy. I mean, especially with the Hanged Man, I'm sure you can understand what that's trying to insinuate there. I feel like you're looking for a partner who, maybe you get tired of new people. Maybe when you are looking for intimate partners, they don't stick around for very long because it's like they can't satisfy you after long because they get boring to you. You need somebody who never becomes boring, somebody who you always feel hungry for and who always feels hungry for you, somebody who's always exciting you, somebody who there's always like a bit of a challenge or a mystery there, somebody who, 10 years down the line, you still feel that hunger and you still feel like the way that you feel at the very beginning of relationships, where you're like chasing each other around the living room, like making out like kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you're somebody who intimacy is very important to you, and things get boring after a while. They get very routine. You need somebody who's always switching it up, somebody who's not afraid to try new things, somebody who will want you the same way as like the beginning of their relationship, like I said, 10 years down the line. Somebody who that never changes. It's like a, what's it called? Immortal flame or whatever, like it just lasts forever. I think that's very, very important to you in relationships, and you need to find somebody who it's very important to them as well. And I think sometimes these things feel natural, sometimes attraction never dies, but it also takes putting work into it. It takes somebody who's willing to be like, hey, let's try this new thing. It's not just fully natural. So you need to also look for somebody who's always looking to try new things, who's always willing to expand and grow. And I think this goes a lot further than just, physical intimacy. I think in all aspects, you're looking for somebody who's always looking to change, who doesn't want to stay stagnant. And I think attraction is very important, but it's also that trait of always trying new things and always being willing to explore that allows these things to stay, exciting after all this time, because attraction will fade and it will come back, and for some couples it unfortunately does fade and never comes back. But it's important to find that person that's always trying to keep it alive, somebody who's always stoking the flame, always putting more fuel on. And like I said, it goes further than just physical intimacy. Maybe it's also like intellectual stimulation. Maybe it's like always wanting to learn new things, always wanting to try out new hobbies. That's what you're looking for, somebody who's hungry for life and for you. So I'm going to try to breeze past that one because I don't want to get demonetized or anything like that. But the next thing that we have here is frustration and the 5 of Swords. I think you are a very passionate person. I think that passion is great, but it can also tend to be, it can lead to arguments. It can lead to stubbornness, or like, I've been forgetting words a lot lately. Like, there's a perfect word for this, like hard-headed. Maybe that's what I was looking for. I feel like you need somebody who is just as passionate as you, but who's not gonna just like be at your throat as well. Somebody who knows when to back down and be like, for instance, with this frustration card, you see it's like this square peg trying to fit in a circle hole. You need somebody who, even though they're just as passionate, they're able to take a step back and be like, okay, I see the problem here. It's a square peg, it's a circle hole. Like, take a step back with me, look at this problem, you both see it, and then the frustration fades and you're like, oh, okay, all right, we just need to look for a square hole, or we need to like round off these edges so it can fit in the circle hole. You know? The passion is very important to you, but I feel like when you search for passionate partners, you can often find hard-headed ones, or people that want it their way, or people that don't want to give up the fight. You need somebody who has that trait of, yes, they're super passionate, but they're also a logical person who can step back and like in the middle of a fight be like, okay, let's take a breather because we're not getting anywhere here. Not somebody who's just going to keep going, trying to prove their point. Somebody who's going to say something that ends up hurting you. You know, somebody who is emotionally intelligent for just as much as they are passionate. I think that's very important. And I feel like that can be kind of rare to find, especially if you're just looking for people that are very passionate, because people that are passionate about you are also probably very passionate about their opinions. And if you've ever tried to fight with somebody who's stubborn and won't change their opinion, I mean, I'm sure that you know, because I almost get the energy that you might be one of those people. And maybe you recognize that trait in yourself and you're like, yeah, absolutely. If I'm looking for a long-term partnership, I need somebody who is able to take that step back and see the bigger picture of things and not just get sucked into this vortex of like fighting and arguments. And, you know, people can think that that's passion. Like arguments are just a part of passion because when you're very passionate people, of course, your anger is just as passionate, but that doesn't have to be the case. You know, you can be passionate and logical, passionate and respectful. And I think that's a big thing that you need, especially if you're looking for a life partner. And finally, we have the mystery card and the magician reversed. Now, something that I think is very important to you, like I said, is you don't want that hunger, that excitement, that passion to fade 5-10 years down the line. You still want there to be mystery. And with the mystery card here and the magician reversed, I think whoever this person is, the ideal trait that's coming up here is the magician reversed. And what that makes me think is there's somebody who gets a lot done, who has a lot of positive traits, but they almost like don't show you what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know how they're getting it done. You don't know what they're doing. And it's not like you don't know what they're doing, like they're going behind your back cheating on you. I don't mean like that. It's like they want to keep a certain level of mystery about things. Like, something that just came to mind that's a little bit gross is like they won't let you see them go to the bathroom because it's like they want to keep the mystery alive. I don't know. That's kind of a weird thing, but it's something like that. Is like, not that that's a bad thing, but in order to keep that mystery alive, it's like setting certain boundaries so you guys don't know everything about each other. You want somebody who's you're still like I said, 10 years down the line, finding out new things about them. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't know your brother was this famous actor. And they're like, yeah, you know, I don't know. That's kind of dumb, but somebody who keeps the mystery alive, somebody who you always have that desire to get to know. Because in the beginning stages of relationships, there's so much passion, getting to know this person that you don't understand, you don't know them fully. But then it's like, once you fully understand someone, once you fully know them, sometimes that air of mystery can fade away, and then sometimes the passion fades away. I'm not saying that happens with everybody, but you need somebody that keeps that mystery and passion alive. And like I said, somebody who also cares, somebody who's respectful, somebody who's intelligent. I feel like that is a big trait that you might be missing from, you know, past relationships, past partners. I think you're very drawn to passionate people, but you have yet to find passionate people who are also, emotionally intelligent, you know? So yeah, that's everything that I see for you. I really hope that this, brought certain things to light for you. Hopefully it made it a little bit more clear so that when you go out there and you try to find the ideal romantic partner for you, you can vet them a little bit better and be like, you know what, you are very passionate, but you don't have this exact trait, and that is something that I need in a life partner. And, I really hope that you find this person out there. I'm sure that they are out there for you. So, pile 3, that is everything that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.